Today on the grid, it is Photoshop World Tips Day. Yep, we got some cool instructors that are going to be Skyping in from all over to share some of their Photoshop World tips and experiences. And better than that, believe it or not, in studio, a living legend, a man who needs no introduction, so I won't tell you who it is. No, it's Terry White. Terry White is here in the studio with us, and we've got Kirk Nelson and Deb Sandidge and Frederick Johnson all Skyping in. It's going to be a lot of fun. We're going to learn a lot of cool Photoshop stuff today. Plus, we've got some great giveaways. And I predict now, I've never done this before, but I'm going to predict today that it's going to be a fun day. But wait, I left out something hugely important. You know who else is here? I'll give you a hint. He's a can of ham. He loves green eggs and ham. He eats Spam. It's the real Rocket Man. Kuna's here, and it all starts in just 12.2 seconds. Let's go.
1, 2, 3, 4.
The grid is brought to you by Platypod, the tripod alternative that is changing the world. Everybody has a Platypod. You should too. Go to platypod.com. Hi, everybody. Welcome to another live episode of The Grid. It's 1-ish on the East Coast. Kuna is here.
Hey, guys.
No gallivantation.
Nope.
But guess
I'm always gallivanting, though.
You are gallivanting.
He's a gallivanting kind of guy.
He does.
No, I'm telling you, you say that. I had this crazy dream last night about doing this 10-week-long assignment for photography. It was crazy.
Wow,
It was crazy.
That's a long assignment.
I was gallivanting in my mind.
Man, you were gallivanting. We also have a very, very special guest in the studio. You know him, you love him. You can't live without him. Mr. Terry White.
Hey, everybody. Thanks, Scott.
Hi, Terry.
Hey, Kuna.
Hey,
How are you?
great.
I'm glad to be here. In person. It's been a long time since I've been on the grid in person.
Yeah, it has been a while.
Yes,
You've
yes.
Skyped
Usually
in
we
many
see as
times.
Tiny
Yeah.
Terry in the corner.
Little Tiny Terry. Tiny Terry.
I'm here.
All right, let's see what's new. New shirt. I got a new shirt. Stax Records. A really cool record label from back in the 1960s. Stax, right?
Stax, yeah.
Remember that? You know that song that you're hearing right now on the radio? I mean, not on the radio. You're hearing it in TV commercials. Mr. Big Stuff.
Yeah.
That's Stax Records.
Yeah,
That was them
pretty
back in the day. Very cool stuff.
Cool.
And that was what, Gene Wright that did that song? I want to think it was. All right. But
I
who
want to
knows?
think you're right, but I don't know.
I would like to say this. Eric's just a little taller than the rest of us.
I am.
Guess who got the shrinking chair?
No, I did.
You
I
don't-
got the shrinking chair. They took it away, and that's why I can't actually
Oh,
shrink.
you have
I'm
a
in
hard chair. Yeah, all righty. Well, anyway, welcome to Musical Chair. So here's what we're doing today. We do this before the Photoshop World Conference, which is coming up next month. It is coming up on, I think, the 9th, 10th, 11th. Where's the date? Scroll
Yeah,
up.
9th through the 11th.
9th through the 11th.
I got you.
It's our biggest conference of the year. It's 3 days of Photoshop training, Lightroom training, some photography training as well. It's a huge conference. There it is. There's 3 full days and just so many classes, so many great instructors, and we have 4 of them that are going to be sharing their tips and
Oh,
stories.
look at Terry White right there.
And there's Terry White's got a class, and there's Frederick Johnson. All
Kirk
right,
Nelson.
and there's Erik Kuna right there
Yeah,
too.
look at that.
Oh, and there's Hilmar, and we got everybody. Anyway,
Richard Burnaby.
oh yeah, we got
Rick
some.
Salmon.
There's Joe McNally.
McNally.
Yeah, there's
Man.
Victoria White's going to be
Miami.
there. Brian Matias and
There's
Meredith
Deb
from the
Sandidge.
Photoshop team. An evening with Russell Brown, a very special evening that is kind of one of the highlights of the conference. So this is all coming up, plus the Photoshop World Film Fest, late night with Larry Becker and guests. It's going to be a wild time, and you can go and
That
say,
late night with Larry Becker. That's fun.
I know
That's
people
fun.
love that. All right, $100, save $100 right now. Go claim your spot. Go get your ticket, and we'll see you in just like, I don't know, 10, 12 days, something like that, for the Photoshop World. It's the ultimate Photoshop training event. We'd love to have you there. All right, let's show some stuff. Terry, do you have something you want to show?
Oh, already?
No.
I can.
Wait. Can I,
Yeah.
Wait, no, I have a video I
Yeah,
want
yeah.
to show.
Yeah.
But I don't know if they're going to be able to hear it. So I'm going to wait. I
Okay,
can't.
I got something ready. I just opened it. I'm ready.
All right. Terry's got a tip. Now, Terry, you're
Terry, do
teaching.
you need a minute? 'Cause we got to give away some prizes if you want like a minute.
Oh yeah, we got to mention
It's
what
up
our
to you.
prizes are.
It's literally up to you because I just opened the thing I was going to show, and I'm ready to show it.
All right,
So
let's
Show it.
do it.
Wait
Let's
a
show
minute.
it.
Do it.
It's up to you.
No, now
And then now you got to wait
Now you
to
gotta
figure
show
out
it.
the prizes.
Now I got to wait. All right, so For those of you out there probably know, most of you know if you've been using Photoshop for a while, for the last 2 years, Adobe's been running a public beta of Photoshop. It was so successful with the generative fill, they just kept it going.
Yes.
So that means that you can install Photoshop. Let's go to my Creative Cloud apps. There it is. You can install Photoshop like you normally would, but you can also install the Photoshop beta right alongside your Photoshop. So when you do that, it will give it to you as a separate application. So if I look at my dock, there's regular Photoshop, there's Photoshop beta. You can launch them at the same time. And this is all to say that if you have the beta installed, then that means you're going to have some extra features that you can play with and start playing with them before they're in the release version. So one of those is Harmonize, which I have open right now. Or I have an image I'm going to do Harmonize in right now. So I'm going to go ahead and just place another image on top of this. Actually, I can do it right from the Finder if I go there. Nope, let's just place it, because then I'd have to find it. So I'm going to place embed it. I'm going to grab this chair. Here's what the chair looks like. The background's already been cut out, but there's the chair. Now, if you've ever done a composite before, you know the challenge is, first and foremost, getting the right perspective. And if you got the right perspective, then you're halfway there, but the biggest problem is that makes it look fake is the item you're dropping in, chances are the lighting's off, there's no shadows, the color could be off from the object you shot versus the background you're putting it on. And this is what professional compositors spend a lot of time on, getting that right. Well, now we made that a lot easier for everyone, because right here is a brand new button called Harmonize. And what Harmonize will do is it will use the generative capabilities using Firefly to generate a new layer. So there's a layer with the chair. Here's the new layer it's working on. And it will composite the two scenes together in one with a mask, so you can always go back in and continue working on it. So we'll give it a few seconds to do that. And by the way, you can also see that you're going to get 3 variations.
Magic.
And there it is. So there's 1.
Wow.
There's 2.
Wow.
There's 3. I kind of like 3.
So cool.
Wow, look at
I
that.
kind of like
You
2,
realize,
actually.
like, you could do
The
that before.
reflections, the
That just would have
shadows.
taken forever. That would have
Yeah.
taken a long time.
The colors and everything.
So just a lot of manual work gone now. You can,
Wow.
That's what I love about this stuff.
You can just, so my tip, and so this is the feature, but the actual tip is before you do Harmonize, get everything else right. In other words, put the object exactly where you're going to want it to be. Don't think, oh, I'll put it here and then move it later. Nope, put it where you're going to want it to be, size it where you're going to want it to be, because here's why. Remember I told you it makes a new layer? So if you try and pick it up and move it now, you're moving that one. Right. So you can't move it later, so it's best to, unless you redo it, it's best to get everything sized and where you want it and then run Harmonize.
But what's so cool, Terry, is it gives you the mask there.
Yes.
So you have an edible mask.
Yep,
too.
you sure do.
Yeah, but also the way it harmonized the color.
Yeah.
That's the thing. I mean, that chair looks like it belongs in that room. Like, it's not just the style of the chair, but the colorizing, the reflections,
Yeah, just
the
take off
shadows.
that layer, just like on and off
yeah,
that
turn
layer.
off that that layer.
Here's the before.
Yeah, I mean, that's just
Wow.
totally different.
Here's the after.
Wow.
That looks real. Yes.
That absolutely looks like it's there.
Yeah.
So
It even changed the tones, like
now think about what it did too. Look at the vase, which the chair is
Yeah.
now blocking some of that light.
yeah,
so it blocked it for
toned
you.
it down. Yeah,
Wow.
exactly.
So it's not just the chair. Look at the whole scene.
yes, that's what we used to have to do.
That's unbelievable.
I mean, you could, again, before this feature, you could do this. It just would have taken you a long time.
Oh,
and
it
now
would've.
it's like,
And that's what I
it's
like to say
12
about
seconds.
that's what I like to say about all the generative features. There's
Yeah.
nothing that you couldn't have done
Yeah.
manually before. It still can. You said no, I don't want to do this. Do it manually. You can keep doing it manually.
Yeah.
This is just making your work load much less.
I don't
All right.
know why you'd want
So
to.
I sent a video to the control room. I don't know if they have it yet, but if we not yet.
Not yet.
But did they see that I got it? That they? I just want to make sure they received it. Oh, I sent it to Jason's. I texted it to him.
It was.
Okay, because I have to set it up. But while they're doing that, let's see what we're giving away on today's show, because it's a bunch of stuff.
Yeah, we got a bunch of stuff, but we got a big prize that we haven't given away before. So. there we go.
Oh, I know what
Teasing
it is.
that.
I see it on the
All
list.
right. So first, we're giving a copy away of two of Scott's books. So we have first how do I do that in Lightroom? So we're giving a copy away of how to do that in Lightroom. And we're also giving away a copy of Scott's book, How Do I Do That in Photoshop. So both of those are over on Amazon. You can get those right now. And then also we're giving away a copy of the night photography book. So if you want to learn all about shooting night photography, especially Milky Way stars, all that good stuff, we're giving a copy away of the night photography book, which just started shipping yesterday on Amazon. So you can get it now 2 days
All
shipping.
right, let's go.
Yeah. And then we're giving away a Platypod handle as well over at Platypod. So we're giving away a handle. That's a crate attachment for like attaching to your Platypod just to raise it up a little bit. Or you can just use it as literally a handle. There you go. And then On1's giving away a copy of their No Noise AI plugin. So that's for removing noise and adding sharpening to photos. So we're giving that away. And then V-Flat from V-Flat World, we're giving away one of those. That's for U.S. shipping only. Just got to have a U.S. shipping address for that. And you can use the discount Kelby10 at checkout, and everybody can get 10% off of V-Flat. And then, big prize we're giving away today on this show only is we're giving away one ticket to Photoshop World. So somebody's going to win a ticket to Photoshop World. All you got to do to win is leave us a comment, tell us what you'd like to win, and then the more comments, the more questions, the more times you share and like, every time you're entered into the contest. So want a better chance to enter? Be part of the conversation. So
There you go. All right, let me check with the crew and see if they've gotten that video. They have the video?
15 seconds.
15 seconds, right. So give me a chance to set up the video. All right. So I'm actually going to let Terry set this up because Terry sent this. First, he sent me some samples, some before and after samples, and then he actually did I guess it's a reel.
It is real.
It's a reel. He did a reel, and that's what we're going to show you is a reel. But set us up and tell us what the deal is.
All right, so you saw me just a few minutes ago use generative AI, the Firefly, which is our Adobe's model of generative AI inside of Photoshop. Well, there's a whole website at firefly.adobe.com that you can just go in and generate stuff. You can generate images, you can upload images, use them as style references, just all kinds of generation stuff. Well, earlier this year, we opened it up for third-party models. So what that means is if you want to use a different model besides Firefly, like there's some great models out there like ChatGPT, there's Lux, or Flux, I should say, I'm sorry, Flux. There's all kinds of models out there that may give you better results depending on what you're trying to generate or what you're trying to use it for. So we just added one of the third-party models that's taken the kind of industry by storm. Some of you might have heard it referred to as Nano Banana. That's the code name for it. It's actually Gemini 2.5 image model. And that's now a part of Firefly. So you can go in, you can switch to that model, and you can then upload a photo and have it and tell it to do things with that photo. So one of the first things I wanted to try, which is one of the hardest, most time-consuming things to do in Photoshop, is restoring a photo, restoring an old photo. So taking an old, badly damaged, maybe even pieces missing photo and restore it. And instead of me spending hours, if not days, doing it in Photoshop, upload it, type in a simple one-sentence prompt, restore this photo, removing dust, scratches, and marks, and colorize it too while you're at it. And that's exactly what I tried, and the results blew me away.
They blew me. I mean, I saw it. My jaw was on the floor. But let's go ahead and roll this video that Terry did. It's a short, and it's good to go. So let's take a look. It's short, but it's really good.
Hey, what's up, everybody? I got some big news today. Adobe Firefly just got a major upgrade. You can now use Gemini 2.5 Flash image model right inside Firefly and Adobe Express alongside a growing list of third-party models. You're not limited to just one AI model in Firefly. You get more styles, more flexibility, and more control. This allows you to experiment with different models to get the best results all in one place. I tried it restoring and colorizing some old photos. Check this out. Here's my mom and dad's wedding day photo, and I retouched this originally in Photoshop, and it took me hours, if not days, to get the result that I wanted. And even though I was happy with my work, I never took the time to colorize it. Now I can do that all in a matter of seconds, thanks to the new Gemini 2.5 Flash model inside Firefly. I just dropped in my original image, then I wrote a simple prompt asking it to restore and colorize it. The results are stunning and so much faster than me doing it manually. Every model has its own unique aesthetic, and the best part is you don't need a dozen subscriptions. With just one Creative Cloud or Firefly plan, you can tap into Firefly and partner models just like Gemini at no additional cost and no additional accounts. Gemini 2.5 Flash is really great at keeping your character consistent. Most times, AI just wants to give you a whole new person, and that's not the case with Gemini 2.5 Flash. I had it remix my headshot into something a little more casual. In just a few clicks, I got what I was looking for without it replacing the way I look. This is the power of multi-model creativity, and it's all in one subscription. Go try Gemini 2.5 Flash image model in Firefly today at firefly.adobe.com, and let me know what you create. Cheers, everybody. Catch you on the next one.
That's so
Wow. Just incredible. So you've got one to show us here?
Yeah, I've got one that I kind of briefly showed in the video, but this is like giving you really worst case scenario. Literally
really bad.
pieces of the photo missing. His hands are gone.
And you could do this right now.
Yeah,
with
you can do
photo-
it.
and
I've
it's gonna
seen,
take you
by the way,
forever.
I've seen
Days.
people
Yeah.
like win your contests, like
Yes.
your
Yes.
Photoshop World, what do you call it? Guru
The
Awards.
Guru Awards, yeah.
Where people do this stuff, and I'm like, how in the hell did you do that? How did you take what wasn't there and recreate it in Photoshop? It's above my means. All right, so I'm in Firefly. I'm in actually the Firefly boards. I'm just gonna go ahead and pop down and choose the Gemini 2.5 Flash image model, which by the way is free to use until September 1st, unlimited, if you already have a Firefly plan, or Firefly's part of your plan. All right, so I'm gonna paste in my prompt, restore this photo, removing dust, noise, dust, scratches, and convert to color. So then I'll just go ahead and click create.
And we gotta wait 2 or 3 days for it to get back
Right.
from the editor.
Yeah, 6 to 8 weeks, and you will get a message.
How long does it take? Like 12,
email.
14 seconds? something?
It's a little bit more than that. Oh, you know why? Because I didn't give it the photo. There we go. All right, there we go. Let's try that again. Actually giving it the photo this time. I was like, wait,
That's right.
who are
It said, "I'll
those
just pick a
people?
photo."
Right.
I'll just pick a photo that needs restoring.
It's helpful when you tell it which photo you will actually want
That
restored.
probably does make a difference.
It does make a difference. I've just seen that makes a difference.
So it shows you a little preview first, right?
Yeah, there it is. All right.
Oh boy, look at that.
And then so that pops up, place on canvas, and there it is.
Come on. Seriously.
That's stupid.
This is unbelievable.
Now, what's interesting, this version, he still doesn't have hands. But the version I did in the video, he actually got hands. So it was interesting that.
Could you iterate on that?
Oh yeah, you can iterate on that and say.
Make sure he has hands. Add
Make
hands.
sure the guy has hands. All right, let's see what happens. Oh,
What an unbelievable job it did, though.
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, if all you had to do was add in some hands, that's a lot better than what you would have originally had to do.
Oh, he's got hands.
He's got hands now. There we go.
Wow. Different approach.
Different
Yeah,
approach.
he's got he's got a different hat. Her outfit's a different color. I like the second one better.
Yep. And by the way, that was the one I got the first time I did it, and he did have his hands. But again,
I like the second one better. I like the toning.
toning, yeah.
yeah.
Toning and
But remember,
Looks like Glenn Dewis just shot
right.
it.
yeah, that's what I was thinking too.
But remember
It does
when
look like
you
a-
would cringe anytime there were hands? Like you just cringe
yeah.
because you
Oh,
would
yeah.
know the hands
yeah.
are going to be
Oh, yeah.
Look
missing-
like a lobster
claw, missing fingers, whatever, and it's gotten so much better.
and it's gonna get better. And
So,
get better.
Yeah,
Again,
can you imagine
get better.
2
And-
years from now, 3 years
and
from
that's
now?
why-
That's today.
That's today,
available
right.
today,
And that's
right
why
now.
this is so important for photographers to make this jump of. It's not like we just need to use these tools, because if we're not, we're gonna fall behind.
Yeah, you don't want to be in that situation where it passes you by like it did for digital for so many years, where people didn't learn digital photography, and then they were like, I'm so far behind, I'll never catch up.
That's awesome.
All right,
That was amazing.
we're going to take a short break. When we come back, we have Kirk Nelson standing by. He's going to share one of his experiences at his first Photoshop World, and then we'll have some more tips and stuff. So stick around. We'll be right back. We're live on the grid. See you in just a minute.
What is Photoshop World? Photoshop World is the ultimate 3-day online creative event for photographers, designers, and digital artists. With over 45 sessions taught by the world's leading Photoshop, Lightroom, and photography instructors. From jaw-dropping edits to industry secrets, this is where your skills go pro and get inspired to push your creativity further than ever before. Register at photoshopworld.com.
You know, you are about to experience the best thing any traveling photographer ever can, and that is insider tips, tricks, all the information that you need if you're thinking about going to Boston. The guy's name is John Dukes. He's been there a bunch of times, and you're about to see visual proof of an amazing trip to Boston.
Thank you, Larry. Yeah, I want to invite you on a journey through Beantown, Boston, Massachusetts. We're going to have so much fun with this class, and you will too. You will come prepared, ready to bring your camera, ready to come back with shots, not Instagram shots, but shots that you'll be proud of, shots that you'll be able to show people when you get back and go, look, I captured this when I was there. We're going to talk about gear. We're going to talk about composition. We're going to talk about how to remove people from your shots that you don't want in there.
You will see fantastic places, and one of my favorite things about John's classes is all the hidden places. Those
Yes.
places that you don't know about. You're going to learn that and so much more, and it's only at KelbyOne.com.
This segment of The Grid is brought to you by Canon.
Hey, we're back. Scott and Terry here, and Mr. Kuna, and we've got Kirk Nelson standing by. Kirk, you out there?
I am right here.
There he is. How you doing, man?
I'm doing okay. How are you?
Very good. Well, if you're a KelbyOne member, you're already familiar with Kirk's courses that he has on KelbyOne, but he is a Photoshop wizard bar none. This guy does stuff that's terrifying, but you're not going to do anything terrifying today, thankfully. But we have courses, all kinds of courses where he does terrifying stuff that's just brilliant, actually. Terrifyingly good. But so you're going to tell us about what your first time at Photoshop World.
Yes, I am. So it was actually back in 2012. So Photoshop World was in DC. It was live in DC.
Yep, I remember it well.
And then, yeah, that's been a bit, I know, but it was fun. So I had been working as a graphic artist at at like a defense contractor for a while, and just trying to develop stuff. And I'd been to a couple of courses and stuff, and like Photoshop World's coming to DC. I got to be a part of that. So I, bought my ticket and I went in, and I was really blown away by how fun the experience was. And one of the highlights for me kind of changed like a trajectory of my career, because previously I had participated in like a contest with Colin Smith's Photoshop Cafe. And had like an image there or something. We're familiar with him. Colin's a great guy. I call him my favorite Kiwi. He's the only Kiwi I know, but he's my favorite one. But anyway, one of the images that I had used in one of his contests was actually being shown on the backdrop at the Adobe booth on the show floor. And I remember coming around that corner and seeing like, hey, that's my image. It's at the Adobe booth. And that was just the most mind-blowing thing to me. You know, immediately I'm like, here, get a picture. And talking with Colin afterwards, and he was like, oh yeah, you know, because, you know, Adobe kind of watched that contest and everything. And he's like, it's good work. So what? You know, good job. Good for you. Type of thing. But I'm like, Colin, this is really huge for me. You know, I've just been working as like a lowly graphic artist doing PowerPoint stuff for people. Do you think this could be, he's like, what are you asking? And I'm like, I want to be an instructor in Photoshop world. And he's like, just keep going, man. There's no reason you can't. And just keep pushing. And he's like, oh, I'll host a couple of your tutorials and stuff up on there. And then I started doing that. And then I reached out when you guys were still doing the magazine, like Photoshop User.
Yeah.
And I just kind of badgered Chris Main until he let me do an article for that. And I ended up doing that for several years. And now this is several years later, and I'm one of the instructors, and I can't be beyond thrilled. I mean, this is fantastic, and I am having the time of my life. So this is me encouraging all the attendees out there who are just kind of slaving away doing little PowerPoint graphics and stuff, and you want to take these skills to something a little better. Just keep going. Just keep going. Just keep pushing. There's a whole huge world out here, and come join us.
Well, look, that's what you did, man. It's well deserved. It's well deserved, and we're happy. We're honored to have you as an instructor at Photoshop World. I know people are going to learn a lot. In fact, Polly just made a comment. Polly says Kirk's courses are fantastic. So there you go.
Thank you, Polly. Your check is in the mail.
All right,
but I think the concept you're talking about of, you know, in photography, anything, Photoshop, like actually just persevering. Keeping up with something and not giving up on it, that's how we make progress. Progress comes through that pain of keeping up with it, and then, you know, you just don't give up. Just don't give up.
Yeah.
Right. Yep.
Stick with
just
it.
Keep showing up.
Wow. Yeah. Just keep showing up.
Yeah.
All right.
And actually, Colin will be at Photoshop World too. So,
oh yeah, Colin's going to be there. So what classes are you teaching at Photoshop World? What are you doing?
So I've got two of them. So one is Photoshop has changed, so should you.
Oh, that's good.
I like that.
Yeah, I was actually talking to somebody before. He had reached out to me, and he's like, man, my CS6 just isn't working anymore. And like, I think I got to get on this CC stuff. What do I need to know? And I'm like, oh, brother. Okay. Okay, come on. Let's go. Because a lot of times we forget that the regular Photoshop user isn't necessarily watching the news and the new releases and all the new features and everything. They just got their heads down doing what they need to do. They're worried about doing their job, and they know one way to do stuff, and it works for them, so they just keep on going. And they don't realize there's a whole ocean of new features to make your life so much better.
Yeah.
And so, the first course there, I'm just gonna be digging into some of that. That like I'm not trying to say you're wrong. I'm saying we can make your life better. Just let me show you where Photoshop has gone, and you get a bunch of time back.
Wow, that sounds like a great class.
Yeah.
And what's your other one?
So the other one, speaking of getting time back, is creating your own custom creative presets in Lightroom. So with my photography work, I do a lot of youth sports. You guys have seen that, and I do a lot of crazy stuff with youth sports. Fires and fireworks and kooky stuff like that. I tend to overshoot. I always have. It's just a bad habit of mine. I overshoot. I come back with way too many images, and it takes me way too long to get through and process them if I do it all manually, right? Just go through each image and be like, here, change that, and change that. So instead, it saves me a ton of time if I have my own custom Lightroom creative presets to be like, you know what? I want to sort of, just change a quick color mode or, color cast and exposure on this whole set using that one. You're like, cool. That's sort of a basic thing. Now let's, they could use a little bit of skin softening here, or maybe it's an athlete photo that I want that like hard, gritty look because they're football players. I'm like, okay, I got a preset for that. Just toss that on there on top of the other preset. They start stacking up, and eventually I'm doing a lot more fun, creative stuff other than slogging through hundreds of images, just doing some very manual, basic things. And so these presets have bought me a bunch of time in my own editing.
Oh, excellent. Wow, those sound like great classes. Well, Kirk, thank you so much for joining us. I'm looking forward to seeing those classes myself, and we will see you at the conference.
Yeah,
So.
but before you leave, Kirk,
Oh.
it looks like Marcy from Phoenix, she cashed your check there because she said, love Kirk's work and classes too. There you
Yay!
go.
Thank you, Marcy. Marcy. I remember you. You commented on all my classes. I am so glad you're looking forward to it. Thank you.
Here's another unsolicited comment from Nell. Nell says Kirk's classes are amazing.
There you go.
Aw, that's so sweet.
All right. Well, there you go.
There you go.
Well, Kirk, thank you so much again, and
Thank
we
you.
will see you very shortly. So see you in a
Yay.
couple weeks. All right.
All
Take
right.
care.
Thanks.
Wow, he's really good. What a
Yeah.
talented guy, a photographer, retoucher. He's very creative guy. Speaking of creativity, Mary Bell, who's also one of our instructors, she's a terrific photographer and just a super nice person. I just love being around her. She's so enthusiastic and she's such a good teacher. She really gets her point across, but the quality of her work when she's not teaching is still outstanding. She says, "Hi everyone, I'm excited to walk you through the creative fun at Photoshop World." She's got such a great creative bent. If you did nothing else but just look at her ideas and learn and get inspired from her. Liesel Wall says, "Hello everyone at KelbyOne, the best place to learn photography." Thank you, Liesel.
Yeah.
We know Liesel was just on the show like a couple of weeks ago.
Doug's saying if you're a photographer and not a KelbyOne member, I have one question. Why? The show is awesome.
Thank you very much, Doug.
Appreciate
and then let's see. Hi from DC. I love the Dinner with a Stranger event at Photoshop World. Met so many interesting people. Yeah, that's fun. I see Terry's got something on his screen here. You got something over there,
I
Terry?
always have something.
Ooh, let's see what you got.
All right. What do we got?
Terry's got something.
Okay, in Photoshop, if you've ever tried to remove things from or remove the background from different objects, you know it could either be super easy because the object's well defined, it's easily contrasted against the background, and the object's relatively simple, or it could be extremely difficult because of all the opposite reasons. So for example, if I need to remove the background from this bike,
Spokes on those wheels. Ugh.
look at the tires. The tires are almost exactly the same color as the wall. I got all the spokes, you got all the detail, you got everything.
Yep.
And prior to June of this year, if you tried to just simply click remove background, let me show you what you would get. Let's go to settings, image processing, and let's put it back. I'll come back to this and explain it when I come back and turn it back on. But this is what you would get, remove background. And you'd be like praying and like, oh my God,
Maybe it'll work. Maybe
it'll work. Yeah, it's actually really good because it didn't do what I wanted it to do. Hang on, undo. I think I didn't turn the thing off. Hold on, image processing. I kind of spoiled the moment there. Oh, it is on device. Okay, let's try it again.
Yeah, I mean, it still wasn't bad.
Yeah, no, but it's usually a lot worse is my point.
Yes, I know what you're talking about. Now,
It's
You're in
missing
the-
spokes.
you're in
It's
the-
missing spokes. All right, so it seems to be stuck on the old one. But anyway, there's now, the tip is, I want to point this out, and it should be on by default now. When you go to your settings and you go to image processing, there should be a new choice for device, quicker results, which is basically the way Photoshop used to work, which will give you the bad result. And now cloud processing, which will give you detailed results. This doesn't cost you anything. It's just basically saying, instead of your super fast laptop or desktop, I'm going to use a room full of computers to do it.
yeah.
So
I'm going to get very precise.
I'm going to get very precise results. So
Yeah.
now if I say remove background, it's probably going to be the same because I think it was still stuck on the other one. But yeah, you're going to get the results that
yeah,
you've
look at all
always
the spokes
dreamed
that
of
came through.
and the spokes and everything that come through. So that's basically the tip. Just make sure you're on cloud processing when you need those detailed results. Now, device, obviously, you can use it in the middle of the ocean with no internet connectivity. This will tap onto the internet just to do the processing. Doesn't send anything up that it keeps, but this is going to always give you a better result than what you had before.
Wow. All right, folks, we're going to take another break. When we come back, we have Deb Sandidge joining us, Photoshop World instructor, KelbyOne instructor as well, and she's wonderful. Stick around. We'll be right back. Don't go away.
Every masterpiece begins with a vision, a spark, a dream. At Photoshop World, you don't just learn tools, you unlock the power to create something unforgettable. Photoshop World 2025, the ultimate Photoshop training event.
I'm Richard Burnaby, and I've spent the last 20 years chasing light and life across the wildest corners of the planet. And what I've learned is this: wildlife photography isn't about gear. It's not even about the animals. It's about connection. It's about presence. It's about telling a story that goes beyond the frame. In my new KelbyOne class, I'll show you how to approach wildlife in the field, from anticipating behavior to creating powerful compositions that include the environment, not just the subject. We'll talk gear, light, ethics, and most of all, how to make images that matter. So if you've ever wanted to make wildlife images that feel alive, not just seen, but felt, then this class is for you. Exclusively on KelbyOne.com.
Howdy folks, Moose Peterson here in what's been my playground for decades, Yosemite National Park. This is part of KelbyOne's National Park Series, and we've got something very special for you. Well, whether you're a first-time visitor or you've been here many, many times, it's gonna be new every time. We're gonna start off at Tunnel View, a place that's gonna get you revved up. We're gonna take you up the trail to Yosemite Falls. And we're going to take you up personally, intimately with these places. Where do you go? Where do you stop? What cameras do you take? What lenses? How do you make it really simple and easy, not complex, so you take in all the places here, and that comes through in your photograph, your passion, your love for being outdoors, and of course, Yosemite. So come along. This is going to be a marvelous class for you to get inspired. It's going to be exclusively on KelbyOne.
Strap in for Creativity Mountain. 45 plus sessions of full throttle inspiration. Photoshop World 2025, the ultimate Photoshop training event.
This segment of The Grid is brought to you by B&H Photo, the professional source since 1973.
Okay, we are back, and we found out what the culprit was in Terry's thing. So it was that he was using the beta version.
Right, which is doing a better job.
Beta is better.
Even on device. All right, so I'm in the release version now. If we can switch to my screen. Here's what I was trying to show you. In the release version, with that turned off.
This is what I was expecting to happen.
Yeah.
This is what I was expecting.
Yeah, that's right now.
What you're getting today in the release version.
Wow.
Right.
So again, just quickly, undo. Turn that processing back on. Image processing. Cloud. Okay. Same button. Same
like
photo.
you. Go to the cloud
Remove
version
background.
all the time.
Watch it come out. Watch it comes out the same.
Then I would be throwing the computer off.
Like
the
if
desk.
there's a cloud
there you
option,
go.
I'm always using the cloud option.
Yeah, cloud
So-
option's always better.
It's just, again, a room full of computer versus your fastest desktop or
Yes.
laptop.
Wow, wow. Oh,
Night and day.
that's a great way to describe it, too. Standing by, we have Deb Sandidge. Deb, you there? There's Deb.
Hey, Deb.
Hey, Deb.
Hey, how are you? Thanks for having me.
Oh, of course. Thanks for being one of the instructors at Photoshop World. We're excited to have you once again. And first off, Deb, before we get into this, I need to read some comments because people just knowing that you were coming on are already filling up the comments. David says he got a chance to meet you out in the field earlier this year. Such a nice person. So glad she'll be teaching at Photoshop World. That's from David. And then Julie says, I really like Deb. Her work, she likes your work and she does seem like she would be a really nice person. Okay, well, Deb, so this episode is actually more like 60 minutes, and we're going to uncover the true Deb. And I can tell you, and Eric will back me up, in person, Deb is the meanest person you will ever meet. No, she's just like she seems. No, she's very, very incredibly talented.
I can't believe she hit you last time she saw me.
I know she did. She hit me last time. No, but that's not unusual. People hit me all the time. But anyway, so glad to have you here. So you have some images to show us? What are we going to see today?
Oh, we're going to talk about avian stories, which is everything related to bird photography. This is something, that I've been doing. Actually, I started out with bird photography many, many years ago, and then sort of evolved into travel and to landscape and kind of went back full circle. I don't know if you've heard the story, but we actually have flamingos on the east coast of Florida. So that's sort of been my mission for the last year and a half, is to photograph and film the flamingos. So I'll be incorporating a lot of these beautiful birds into the conversation, how to work with them, what's the important thing, why gesture is key, and waiting for that moment, being ready for that moment, and really, moving like a heron, so you're super quiet and you just wait for that moment and you're ready to make the shot. So that is a little bit, but we'll talk about it, of course. What do you do about all these images when you get home? And you've shot more like Kirk. I shoot a lot of images and I come back and I'd rather have more than not enough. But there's sometimes those in-between moments when you think that you make the shot. Maybe you use pre-release capture or something, and you have all these other shots to work with. So I'll talk about some of the things that you can do in camera to get the best shots, and some of the things that you can do after the fact to really make your image look its best.
Excellent. All right. So flamingos. Now we're on the West Coast. We don't, unless we go to Busch Gardens, we don't actually ever see flamingos. Like never, not once. They're all on your coast.
They are. They came in with a hurricane, so I'm waiting to see what happens with the rest of the hurricanes this year, whether they'll blow in and blow out. But they've been fascinating. You have to get on a boat to be there. Some people come by kayak, I go by boat, and you have to be willing to have your sacrificial tripod or put it in the water in your gear. So I work with the Wimbley gimbal, and I'll talk about that. Why that's important for heavier, long lenses. And so I'm basically in the water for as long as it takes, just behind the camera, just really being able to film these birds. And I've been totally obsessed. They're absolutely gorgeous. But I'll talk about other birds too. Roseate spoonbills, small birds, some of the things that I do at home. I pretty much shoot out a window of my house every single morning and photograph small birds, super fast flight photos. So how to do that, how do you process those? You might be using a super high ISO. So all the little tips and tricks, I'm going to put it out there in Avian Stories.
Wow. All right. So what are the names of the classes that you're doing at Photoshop World?
Called Avian Stories, Exploring Bird Life Through the Lens. So we'll talk about, pretty much everything.
Wow. Okay, can you give us any sample pictures? Got anything nearby we can look at?
Oh, sample pictures.
Let's let us see a flamingo, for goodness sake.
You want to see a flamingo?
We don't see them over here. You get any Atlanta, Terry?
No, we don't.
No flamingos in Atlanta?
No.
I see him at the zoo.
I'll show you one on a very small Instagram. I don't know if
there you go. That works.
Oh, nice. Wow, what a gesture.
Yes, exactly. And that's something for all birds that you really want that gesture. Be ready for that gesture. Sure, there's a lot there, and that's the most interesting thing about birds. But you have to be ready, and you have to be like a heron, just sort of posed and waiting. Sometimes I don't have the patience, and certainly roseate spoonbills have that over on the right side. Filming those birds have been fascinating. That was. Four in a nest is very unusual. We usually have 2 or 3. So, how would you photograph that? What aperture are you going to use? What shutter speed? That kind of thing. And then how do you post-process it, whether it be a still or a video? There's so many little tips and techniques that I definitely want to share.
Wow, that sounds like a fantastic class.
Thank
That's
you.
going to be awesome.
gonna be fun.
I know we have so many members that are into birding, so I think you're going to have a packed house. So, well, thank you so much for joining us,
Yeah,
Deb, and sharing.
before Deb goes, we got a couple comments
Oh, we
here.
got some comments.
Steve from Colorado saying loves Deb's photography of Lake Monroe in Stanford, Florida.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And then Susan is saying, Deb really inspired me to do seascapes and long exposures on one of the other conferences, and it's been my all-time favorite class. Excited to be with her at Photoshop World.
Oh, thank
There
you
you go.
so much. That's so kind.
There you go. And Jeff Limbach says, haven't seen you at TJ's Taco Tuesdays lately, Deb.
I'll be sure and look for him. Yeah, absolutely.
Jeff is a KelbyOne instructor and obviously someone who frequents TJ's on Taco Tuesday. So.
Fish place. Yeah. Great little fish place.
Great fish place.
There you go.
Well, thank you again, Deb. And where can people find you, like online? Where can they go look at your work, or like on Instagram?
So it's Deb Sandidge, pretty much across the board. So Deb Sandidge on Instagram, also on X, on Facebook, it's Deborah Sandidge there. Yeah. So if you Google me, I promise you'll find me, message me, and I will answer. So.
All right.
There
Well,
you go.
thank you again. Thanks for being here. And we'll see you in just a few weeks there at the conference.
I'm excited. Thank you.
Thanks,
All
Deb.
right,
Take
thanks.
care.
Awesome.
She's so good.
Yeah.
I tell you what, I will say this. We pull together the greatest group of instructors. Like, this group of people doesn't happen anywhere else. It's a very unique group that all come together for this one event, and it's so great. So, wow, double wow. If you haven't signed up, go to photoshopworld.com. Sign up now and save $100. It's $100. Save it. That'll buy you dinner at Chili's. Maybe.
For one person.
For one person,
Well,
as long as
you
you don't
know-
order liquor.
Hey, Scott, I see Terry has got another image.
Terry's had
thing.
another image?
Because here's the thing. James is saying, this is like a Jedi Masterclass of Photoshop with Terry White. And then Bob says, that's amazing, Terry. So I think, Terry, you got to show something else amazing because you got something
All
up
right.
on your screen.
I'll switch gears and go to Lightroom and answer a question that people are like, what's that yellow thing popping up in my Lightroom or Lightroom Classic? So I'm referring to this yellow button over here on the right-hand side.
Oh, yeah.
And people are like, what's that? Why is it there? Why is it there all of a sudden? What
Well,
does
that's
it
the yellow
mean?
button.
Why
That's
is it
the
a
yellow button.
warning? What is it warning me about? And it's actually an AI warning, meaning you've done something in your image out of order. So let me give you an example. If you were painting a wall in your house, and like your kids' room, and after you were done painting your kids' room, you knew that they were going to put stickers on one part of the wall. Well, if they put the stickers up first and you paint, you're screwing up the stickers.
Yeah.
So there's now an order of AI, operations. That's the same concept. If you do one after the other, it may screw up the first one you did. So let me switch to a slide I just made real quick to show you that order of AI operations. And this is it. So you can edit your image in any order you want, but just know that if you don't follow this kind of order of operations, something you do downstream can screw up something you did upstream. For example, I would typically start removing things that I don't like in a photo using the remove tool quickly because it's bugging me, I notice it, I remove it. But then later, if I want to apply denoise, I'm kind of denoising that spot that I did, and it's not going to work right. So that's exactly what that means. So if I pop over to Lightroom, and I click on that yellow thing, it's telling me exactly that. It's telling me I ran the remove tool before I did denoise, and denoise should have been first. So now that I've denoised it, it's telling me that may have invalidated the pixels in the remove tool. Now I can update it, and updating it will simply run the denoise first and then do the remove tool, and now the yellow goes away. But just note that if you do that update, you need to look at your image to make sure it still looks the way you want it to look, especially if you remove something like a big object and now you've run it after the fact. It may not look the same because the remove tool has variations. So you may have locked in on a variation you really liked. Now that it's run it again, That may not be the exact same variation. So it's better if you follow the order of operation. That way you're never going to invalidate your edits. That's in your book, right?
Yes.
Okay, thought so.
You're invalidating me.
Okay.
I'm just giving you a reminder.
I just love that it's like you don't have to think about it. All you got to do is like hit that button. It'll show you what it needs to change.
Yeah, but
and then,
like I said,
but to your point, you have to check.
if you
have to
really
check.
liked an edit and it updated it with AI to a different result, you may not like that result as much as you liked the first time.
Yeah.
So you just got to make sure you check it.
All right. So what Terry is nudging me about is I am in the final stages of updating my biggest Lightroom book, the big 500-page Learn Lightroom from the Ground Up book. But I am holding sending it to press because this is just a guess. I don't have any way to say that this is going to happen. But every October, historically, Adobe has done a major set of updates to Photoshop and to Lightroom and to basically all the Adobe products across the board at the Adobe Max conference I think it's in Los Angeles this year.
It's in Los Angeles.
Back in Los Angeles. They have a big keynote presentation, and very often I look on the stage and there's Terry White showing some things. So they introduced new features. Well, I can't release the book before the new features have been released because that would get me in lots of trouble.
That would make your book invalidated.
It would make my book invalidated. So
the order of operations.
It would change the order of operations. In other words, I'd be in court. So, so I'm going to wait. But that's why Terry is referencing that Lightroom book because it's the biggest update I've done in years. So it'll bring everything up to date. And it'll be coming out after Adobe's announcement. So we'll be safely have all the big new Adobe Max features plus all the other stuff that's been added since the last version of the book. And that is my Lightroom Classic book for digital photographers. It's coming out after October, whatever the date is that Adobe is there.
Hey,
it'll be worth the wait.
We got somebody in the chat saying Terry White is amazing. Her name's Victoria White.
I've never heard of her.
Yeah.
I think she's an artist.
Yeah, she might be.
And she also has a love emoji there. I don't know, Terry.
I don't know, Terry.
I don't know. I got fans everywhere.
That's love. That's
a fan from home.
That's a fan from your house.
Hi, Victoria.
Hey, Victoria.
But if it's any consolation, Victoria, we also do agree. He is amazing. Hey, look at Split Ends.
Says Terry, the yellow button award for tip of the day. Thanks for sharing, Terry.
Yeah, that's really
what the yellow button means.
But
this is our fault, your credit. It just kind of appeared in the latest version of Lightroom without really a whole lot of explanation.
Well, I was going to say that this is why Photoshop World is so cool. Like you're seeing, these are the type of tips and the stuff that you're going to learn at Photoshop World. And that's why we just have to be up to speed with. There's constantly things that change that make our lives better, make our lives easier, make our photography better. So that's why these things are so cool. I love going to them because it helps me to like pick up tips like that.
Yeah, Washington State. Hello from Washington State. He says the Photoshop beta tips have been extremely helpful. So he says thank you.
Yeah.
All right, we're going to take our last break. When we come back, we have Frederick Van Johnson who's going to be joining us right after the break. Don't go away. It's Photoshop World Day, Tips Day, and maybe Terry will have another tip. You never know. He's very tippy. He's tippy.
You never know.
We'll tip him.
Hi, I'm Scott Kelby, and if you've ever wondered what it's like being a KelbyOne member, I'm going to take you behind the scenes and let you see the whole thing. We're going to go and show you all the different stuff that you can do, and I think you're going to be amazed when you see, I think you're going to be shocked when you see how much that we have for our members. It is pretty insane, but you've probably never seen it because you can't get behind that wall. Well, I'm going to take you there. Not only am I going to take you and show you all the cool stuff that you get as a KelbyOne member, but we're going to take a tour of the KelbyOne studios here, and I'm going to show you all the different sets and everything you're going to see behind the scenes. It's going to be a whole lot of fun, and you're going to learn an awful lot, or you're going to have an amazing deal for you. If you watch it all and you go, man, that does look amazing. I want to be a part of that. We want you to be a part of it, but you got to come and take the demo, and you'll see what it's all about. Go register right now, and I'll see you online at the tour.
Hi, I'm Karen Hutton, and I'm an award-winning photographer in landscape and travel. I'm also a professional Fujifilm X photographer. I'm here at Arches National Park, about to present you with a class about arches and canyonlands that I think you're going to love. I'm going to take you into some epic spots in both of these parks, show you my tips for lenses, time of day, the language of light, how to work with the park rules, how to avoid some of the crowds, that's always big on my list, and how to frame a variety of shots so you feel like you're walking away with a book of your adventure. I hope you'll join me in these two incredible parks exclusively on KelbyOne.
What is Photoshop World? Photoshop World is the ultimate 3-day online creative event for photographers, designers, and digital artists. With over 45 sessions taught by the world's leading Photoshop, Lightroom, and photography instructors. From jaw-dropping edits to industry secrets, this is where your skills go pro and get inspired to push your creativity further than ever before. Register at photoshopworld.com.
This segment of The Grid is brought to you by Platypod, the world's most compact tripod base.
There we go.
Yeah, I feel like a.
All
right,
we're back. Oh, we're back. All right, sorry.
We're having conversations
We're
on the
chatting
break.
with Frederick. So, Frederick, you were there?
I am here.
There he is.
How it goes?
All right, sorry, we got all tied up chatting. We're doing
Nerding out.
We're nerding out. So sorry. We're back. Frederick, good to see you. Good to have you here, and thank you for being an instructor at Photoshop World. So, what are you teaching this year?
Man, Scott, you know, I don't know. Last time I was there, I was on this whole, and I still am. Actually, it's been years. I've been on this whole small cameras can do a lot of stuff thing. And I feel like Adobe might be on the same kind of train with some of the things that they're working on, you know, with Project Indigo and all that stuff. So my session is kind of focused on that. It's what can you do with smaller gear that you're not compromising using the smaller gear. Like, oh, I only have my cell phone, so therefore I can only do these things. So this one session is focused on the portraiture aspect of it and how can we do amazing portraits without needing to bring our big Nikon, Canon, Sony, Fuji camera with us. What if we just use our cell phone, and what can we do? So we explore that question, and then we dive into some deeper kind of tips and tricks around the things that you can do with the cell phone or with your iPhone specifically that you can't do with other tools. And then we go through the processing as well with, you know, Lightroom and all the different advantages that you get from these kind of billion-dollar tools that we have in our pocket. So yeah, it's gonna be fun.
Frederick, really that class is gonna kill. That class, let me tell you, there's so many people, number one, that are waking up to the power of iPhone photography. That it is, I mean, when I talk to people about this, and I know that you know this, so I'm preaching to the choir when I'm talking to you about this, but a 12 megapixel camera in that phone is so much better than cameras that we paid $6,000 for that were state of the art just a few years ago. I mean, not 2 years ago, but I mean, I remember cameras that I had that I love shooting with my iPhone, but if you let me go back to my old, you know, Nikon, what did I have? I had
D3.
First, I'm trying to think. I had a D. Well, the D3 was pretty decent.
Yeah.
But I had
D2.
a D200. Yeah. I had a bunch of cameras that were just noise factories, and they just weren't. I mean, today you wouldn't consider shooting with them. But we were paying, so I paid $5,000 and $6,000 for some of the higher end cameras that I had.
That wasn't for the lens either.
And they were 6 megapixels.
Right.
Right? A
But
6
you were on the bleeding
megapixel.
edge. You're the bleeding edge always, right? So you're like, okay,
Well, yeah,
where is this stuff going? Let me get that so I can skate to where the puck is going to be.
Right.
But yeah, right. I feel like the puck is going to be where this mobile stuff is going with all the computational photography powers that we have, and it's just, and not to mention that, okay, now I can do stuff other than just take a photo with this. I can do video clips. I can do all the things. I can edit and share into, you know, millions of people wherever I am.
You know, that was my goal for this year, Frederick, was to shoot more video on my phone. Because I just don't think about it, and I don't ever shoot video on my camera because it's such a pain in the butt. But video on your phone is a joy. It's like
amazing.
wonderful.
Especially
it's
going to that cinematic mode. The cinematic mode. Oh, you can't
I
beat
am
it.
so close. I'm not kidding. Where I'm like really probably going to do it to get a tattoo right here on the side of my hand that says, "Don't forget to shoot video." And as I'm holding the phone, I look over. Oh yeah, switch to video, and there we go. Like right here in my hand, shoot video.
That's a leap, Terry. You know, the other piece of this is, and I know people are gonna cringe when I say this, but what about vertical video, right? And or leaning into shooting vertically versus going 16:9 or landscape.
Oh yeah.
Because the natural format for the phone, here's the math behind that. So the natural format for people holding their phone obviously is designed to be vertical. As much as we don't like, you know, as real photographers, we want, you know, we got to have that aspect, the horizontal aspect ratio. But the vast majority of people, when they pick up their phone, which is billions of people around the planet, right? When they pick up a phone, it's going to be in vertical. So that's the natural viewing orientation that's at odds with our horizontal. So why not start learning how to be more creative with the vertical aspect ratio instead of making it an afterthought? What if you lean into it and make it part of the story that you're trying to tell?
And to that point, if I'm shooting something that's not moving, I shoot both. Just in case.
Oh yeah, me too.
Just in case I need a video, vertical video or a horizontal video, I've got both.
And and with shorts and all that stuff, it makes sense to do vertical video for sure.
Yeah. At least for now, right? Until these 360 cameras get, you know, to 16 megapixels or whatever, and then now we just shoot the whole thing and crop out what we need whenever we want.
That's crazy.
I know. I saw an event photographer, and he had his full rig, his full mirrorless camera and whatever lens he was using, and he had an attachment that basically held a phone off to the side, and the phone was vertical. That way he could shoot and then take a couple shots or video from the phone right next to the lens. So that way he could go back and forth without having to ever put down the camera and pick up the phone. It was always right there.
Well, he could also do it simultaneously. He could just hit record, start video, and then shoot stills whenever he wants, and he's already aiming it where he wants it.
Aiming it.
That's very clever.
That sounds like a attachment for a company we know.
Yeah. Sounds like the next platypod thing.
Platypod.
Come on, let's go.
Platypod phone on camera. There you go.
That's pretty good.
I just gave you the idea.
We better.
All right, Larry.
I only
where
want
are you?
10%.
Larry.
All right, we're gonna call it.
Larry's scribbling notes down right now, right?
All right. So Frederick, where can people learn more about you? Where can they learn from you and hear you?
All roads lead to thisweekinphoto.com. That's where the main majority of my efforts are going these days. In front, that's the water line where the iceberg appears above the waterline. Below the waterline, all of that's being revamped. I'll talk about that in the class. But all of that back end stuff is kind of being revamped and refocused towards a lot of the stuff that I'll reveal during our course. So you got
interesting.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Frederick. Great having you here.
Yeah,
and
definitely.
And we will see you in just a couple of weeks. So thank you so much for dropping in today. We really appreciate it.
Thanks, Scott. Yeah, now I go build that course. So okay, here we go.
All right, take care.
See ya.
Okay, take care, guys.
He's such a fun guy.
Oh, yeah.
I've known him for many years, and just a great guy. And he's
Oh, yeah.
been all kinds of places.
Definitely.
He's worked at Apple. He's worked at Adobe. He's like a kind of an icon in our industry. And he's got a great podcast.
Well, and I definitely think what he was talking about, and others with the smaller cameras, the case in point, I think for us is, I've noticed in the last 3 years when we're doing workshops, How many people have a large Z9 or, you know, Canon 5D Mark or R5, you know, all this big glass, and then we'll show them a little technique on the phone, and then all the phones come out and the other cameras go away, and this is the key.
Yep.
They love it more.
They do love it.
They love it.
You know why?
So-
Because number one, when you're with your phone's going to do everything.
Yep.
And it takes away the what's my ISO, what are settings. It takes away all that other stuff, and you just get into the picture.
Yep.
Because the phone does so much and does it well, especially if you're shooting in low light or at night. I mean,
Yeah. Well, and like I say, like when we're out on workshops, part of the thing is the part of photography that's important is like what's in front of us, what's the subject, what's the lighting. That's the stuff we're concerned about. So phone or big honking camera, it doesn't matter. And that's what it just like, it's just freeing to do that.
All right, Terry's got another tip. Before he does that, I want to answer Maureen's question here.
Yeah, Maureen's asking, are there any courses we should look at on KelbyOne that would be good to learn Photoshop basics?
So Maureen, and you wouldn't know this unless you were a KelbyOne member or you attended our demo last week, but so we have a thing that we call learning tracks, and they're designed for one of two people. Number one, you're brand new to Photoshop, and that's it right there. So that's a learning track if you're brand new. If you're already using Photoshop, then you would skip over to the advanced track over there. And these 5 classes are handpicked by me to get you up and running in Photoshop. So that's the whole idea. So
Yeah,
it is.
guys, she wants the other track.
Oh,
not
that's
that
yeah,
track.
not that track. That
She wants to
track's
start out.
That track's scary.
Yeah, that's scary.
Yeah,
Let's
don't go to
the other
scary
class.
track. Click on that one.
Yeah, click on that one.
That's where you
That's
want
where
to
you wanna
start.
go. What's the first
Photoshop
class?
for beginners.
That's what you want.
Unlocking the
You
power of layers, selections and masking, then AI powered stuff. And then scroll down a little further.
Yeah, keep on going.
Keep going.
Keep-
Scroll.
Scroll it.
Scroll.
Scroll it.
Go.
Scroll it. Keep
Go.
on.
There it
we
is.
go.
And how to remove distractions, which is one of the main things that people will leave Lightroom for. Jump over to Photoshop, get rid of the distractions, and then come back. So that's where I would start.
There
So
you go.
when you get in there, it's going to lead you through this. It's going to track your progress through the 5 classes. Maureen, when you're done with those 5 classes, you're going to have a really good, you're going to be more than a basic Photoshop user. But at that point, you can explore the 100+ other Photoshop classes that we have. So
Yep.
you'll go outside the learning tracks at that point, and you'll just start looking at everything.
Yeah, all the courses,
You can go up there and
all
click
that
right
stuff.
there on Photoshop, and there's just so many courses on everything that you could possibly want to do, right? And there's like a particular class, Photoshop Essentials for Landscape Photographers. So there's all kinds of different stuff
Yep.
in there. There's Mr. Kuna in there doing a Milky Way photography class.
Yep.
There's just so much. So thank you for
Yeah.
asking that. So there you
Yeah,
go.
great.
And I'm going to turn things over to Terry. He's got something he's going to show, and then we're going to wrap up the show here in just a minute. But Terry, what you got?
All right, and just a reminder, I'm in Photoshop World too, so if you want to see more of this,
that's right.
Watch my classes at Photoshop World.
Not only is Terry at Photoshop World, and you have 3 classes, if
I
I'm
have
not
2 classes and a pre-con.
2 classes and a pre-conference session the day before. That's all included, by the way. You do not have to pay extra for the pre-conferences. Those are they're optional. They're the day before, so it can be a full 4-day conference for you. Which, by the way, you get to stream on demand for an entire year. So if you go to the conference and you want to watch other classes and other tracks, or rewatch a class, or any of that stuff, including all the bonus stuff, the whole thing is available to you for an entire year after the conference. It's on demand to stream anytime you feel like it. That's good for you, and for a full year, which is crazy. All right, so besides that, Terry is also doing the opening keynote presentation on Adobe's behalf.
yeah?
So,
Uh-oh.
I didn't know that.
yes, you do.
Oh.
Don't- Terry already pulled one on me today. So he's in a frisky mood. All
Okay,
right.
speaking of frisky, we have a hidden feature that's hidden out in the open. Those are the best kind, because people, it appears and you don't notice it because you weren't looking at it. And it's this button right here, and this, I'm in regular Photoshop, not the beta. This button right here, adjust colors. That's new on the contextual taskbar. You might be thinking, well, what's that for? Anything on the contextual taskbar, by the way, is designed to make your life easier. So if you see it there, you know, oh, that's going to make my life easier in some way. And what it's for, especially for people that want to change the color of things and don't know where to even begin. So if you think mentally where to begin, it's, well, I look at the object, I'm looking at it with my eyes, I know I want to change it to that color. So this tool works that way. You click adjust colors, and it first goes out and identifies the 6 primary colors in the image. And then you just say, oh, I want to change that color, and then change it.
Look at that. You can change the background. I see the yellow has been selected up
Yes,
there.
you can. But here's the thing that you have to always think about is that, remember, like, I'll give you an example. Here I chose that purple. I was thinking about her top here, but it's also the same color as her hat. So it's changing her hat too, which that's to be expected. It doesn't know that you only want one or the other. We don't have the mind reading feature yet. But if you look at the yellow, like Scott pointed out, oh yeah, I want to change the yellow background. There's a primary color. Well, yellow can also be interpreted as part of a skin tone. So her skin's starting to change too. So just be aware that your colors are your colors wherever they are, and it will change them. So same thing
Just
with,
be aware that Adobe will add a feature in a little while that says protect skin tones
Right.
or something.
or protect part of the,
Yeah.
make you maybe deselect
Or select
whatever.
part of the image.
Yep,
Like,
there you go. So
yeah.
pants, same thing. And just like that, we can change colors. So adjust color right there in the contextual taskbar in the release version. You already have it. It's there.
Yeah.
Wow, fantastic.
Very cool.
All right, Mr. Kuna, do we have winners of stuff?
Oh, yes, we do. We got a bunch of winners. So your book on how to do that in Lightroom is going to Dave Sayer. And then how to do that in Photoshop is going to Maureen. And then the night photography book is going to Dale Bales. And then the Platypod handle going to Jay over at the KelbyOne chat. And then on one, no noise is going to Sergey Adam. And then V flat is going to Elizabeth Whitcomb. And then Photoshop World ticket is Janie Lambert is winning the Photoshop World ticket.
Jenny, congratulations.
Yeah. And then what you're going to do is just email us over at gridprize@kelbyone.com. We'll verify information, and then we'll send out your prize. Just try to do that by this Friday if you can, please. Keeps the crew happy.
It keeps the crew happy, and that's important.
It is.
All right, Terry, where can people go learn more about you when you're not at Photoshop World? Do you have a life outside of Photoshop World?
Not really.
Okay, me either.
Not really. No, not really much of life. Yeah, so just you can head over to terrywhite.com and you will see right there at the top of the menu all my social. So if you click all my social, that'll take you to everywhere. There's my calendar, where I'm going to be, right there on the right-hand side. But this is how to link up with me. All those icons at the top there, or the middle section. So there's my YouTube, my Threads, my Instagram, my Blue Sky, my Facebook, my LinkedIn, all of it. It's all there. So just click on any one of those platforms that you're on, and that's how
Terry,
you get to me.
what is your Amazon link?
For my Amazon recommendations, when people ask me about you.
Okay. He's got his Twitch over there. I see.
Yeah, look at you.
Everywhere.
You've got a lot of social.
Everywhere. You're social.
You're very social.
I do.
All right.
And look at a QR code if you want to view on.
Before we go, just want to reiterate that Mr. Kuna's amazing book is now shipping on Amazon. So go to Amazon.com, and it is the Night Photography book by Mr. Erik Kuna.
There you go, right there.
That's it right there. I mean,
Shipping.
it is brand. Look at it came out yesterday.
Yesterday, yeah.
So it's in stock and ready to rock. So if you are interested in nighttime photography, Milky Way photography, any of those things, capturing the night sky, and so much more, including a lot of post-processing stuff and tips that you will not find anywhere else. And real right to the point kind of, you know, a lot of people just need somebody to tell them, you need this and you don't need that.
Yeah,
he does a great job of pointing out right now what are the best tools, what are the best things, what to avoid, what to get, and how to do it all without having to be a super techno nerd. It does seem like there is a there's a genre of people who do night photography and stuff that really love the complexity of it. And
Yes.
you went to great lengths to not make it a complex thing, but make it easy and accessible to everybody.
It's what prevents people from getting in, and there's few genres like this that it prevents people from actually getting into it because it's the perception is it's so complex, when in reality it's not. And that's where some people they like to, and I get it. I'm a nerd. Like, I love the overcomplicated nature of it, but I love to get more people involved in it by simplifying it. Yeah.
Let's play Point to the Nerd.
Yeah. Hey, Terry and I, we're kindred spirits with that, you know.
And you know what I am? I'm their friend. I'm the one that calls up Eric and calls up Terry and go, how do I do this? How do I set up my NAS? How do I do this? How do I do that? Eric, what am I supposed to do here?
Yeah.
You know what? You don't have to be a tech nerd, but you have to know some. That's the important thing.
Yeah, that's true.
All right. Well, thank you, everybody, for watching, and thanks to all of our instructors, to Deb and Kirk and Frederick for all dropping in, and, of course, Terry from coming all the way down here from Atlanta, where it's his home base. Mr. Kuna, thanks for coming right down the road from your house
down the
as
street.
well.
Yep.
We will catch you guys next Wednesday, the last Wednesday before Photoshop World kicks off. See you next week. Have a great week, everybody.
Bye, everybody.